Hello students, good morning. Hope you are all having a good time in your holidays. In the previous class we discussed about various topics based on periodic table. In today's class we shall discuss about some other topics related to periodic table. First topic we shall discuss is about the size of the atoms and their ions. Is Na plus bigger or Na bigger? That is what is the question. Now, if you take Na plus, it has 2 electrons in the first orbit, 8 electrons in the second orbit and no electrons in the third orbit. If you take Na plus, it has 2 electrons in the first orbit, 8 electrons in the second orbit, 1 electron in the third orbit. Now, obviously which is bigger? Na is bigger than Na plus, because for Na plus the nuclear charge is more. The nuclear charge of 11 protons over 10 electrons is more compared to 11 protons over 11 electrons. Because of this, the size of the Na plus is less than the size of Na. The size of Na is greater than size of Na plus. Similarly, if we take Cl and Cl minus, chlorine has got 2 electrons in the first orbit, 8 electrons in the second orbit and 7 electrons in the third orbit. Now, if you take Cl minus, it has 2 electrons in the first orbit, 8 electrons in the second orbit, another 8 electrons in the third orbit. Here you have 17 protons and 17 electrons. Here you have 17 protons and 18 electrons. The hold of 17 protons over 18 electrons is 17 protons over 17 electrons is greater than 17 protons over 18 electrons. Because of this, Cl minus has bigger size compared to Cl. So this is about the atoms and their ions and their sizes. Our next topic that we have is ionization energy. Let us look into the topic. Ionization energy. Ionization energy is nothing but it is the energy required to remove an electron from a neutral gaseous atom. Neutral gaseous atom means number of electrons and number of protons must be same in the gaseous atom. So here, what is the energy that is required to remove an electron from the outermost shell? That is called ionization energy. Let us say you have an atom N, we have supplied energy, so it becomes M plus plus 1 electron. Now, this is called first ionization energy. Energy required to remove an electron from the outermost orbit of a neutral gaseous atom, that is called first ionization energy. When you supply energy, it loses 1 electron like this. Then you have second ionization energy as well. What is second ionization energy? The energy required to remove an electron from the unipositive ion is called second ionization energy. It will become M plus 2 plus electron. Always second ionization energy is greater than first ionization energy. This is because the nuclear attraction over the electron increases. So second ionization energy will be greater than first ionization energy. Now you have number of headings that are related to ionization energy. That is, ionization energy depends upon number of factors. The first one is nuclear charge, second one is screening effect, third one is penetration power, fourth one is stable configuration, fifth one is atomic radius. Let us see each of the factor. First one is nuclear charge. Now, between Na, that is 281, and chlorine, 287, it is easier to remove an electron from sodium compared to chlorine because the attraction of nucleus over the electrons increases for chlorine. So, it is easier to remove an electron from sodium compared to chlorine. So, this is about nuclear charge. As the nuclear charge increases, the ionization energy also increases. Next is a screening effect or shielding effect. As the number of shells increases around the nucleus, they act as screens. The subshells sp, spd, spd, sp, spd, spdf, these subshells act as screens for the electron attraction over nuclear attraction over the electron. For nuclear attraction of the over the outermost electron, these subshells S, sp, spd, spdf act like screens. So, more number of subshells, less will be the ionization energy, less number of subshells, more will be the ionization energy. So, between lithium and cesium, lithium has got more ionization energy compared to cesium. Next is the penetration power. Penetration power is nothing but, let us say you have s orbital. S orbital has spherical in shape. So, the nuclear hold over the s orbital is more compared to P, D and F. So, it is easy to remove an electron from F rather than S. So, that is about the penetration power. Next is a stable configuration. If you see the electronic configuration of oxygen, it is 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. So, you have something, the filling will be like this. This is how oxygen atom looks like. Then, when you take nitrogen, 1s2, 2s2, 2p3, it has half filled configuration. It is easier to remove an electron from oxygen compared to nitrogen because nitrogen has half filled configuration, whereas oxygen do not have half filled configuration. Half filled configurations are stable, that is, it is difficult to remove an electron from nitrogen compared to oxygen. That is about stable configuration. Next is the atomic radius. As the atomic radius increases, ionization energy decreases because nuclear hold over the orbits decreases. Now, sodium has got only 3 shells, whereas cesium, if you take, it has got number of shells. Cesium atomic number is 55. It has got number of shells compared to sodium. So, it is easy to remove an electron from cesium compared to sodium. So, that is about the atomic radius. Our next topic we have is electron affinity. Now, before going to that, let us see how the ionization energy varies in group and period. Down the group, ionization energy decreases down the group. For groups, ionization energy decreases because of the increase in atomic radius. For periods, ionization energy increases across a period. Because it is energy, the unit is kilojoule per mole. Or one more, you have another unit, let me discuss that. So, down the groups, ionization energy decreases because atomic radius increases. Across the period, ionization energy increases because of the decrease in the atomic radius. Now, our next topic that we have is electron affinity. What is this electron affinity? Electron affinity is nothing but whenever you add an electron to the neutral gaseous atom or any atom, it releases certain amount of energy, that is called electron affinity. Now, if you add an electron to the first time, if you are adding the electron, you get some energy. For the next time you add electron, you will not get any energy, but that energy is seen in the form of bond formation. Electron affinity decreases down the group, it increases across the period. That is about electron affinity. Next topic that you have is electronegativity. Electronegativity is nothing but It is the tendency of the bonded atom to attract the shared pair of electron towards itself. That means, let us take the formation of HCl. Hydrogen and chlorine share 2 electrons, but these 2 electrons are attracted more by hydrogen rather than chlorine. These electrons are attracted more by hydrogen rather than chlorine. Why hydrogen attracts these 2 electrons towards itself is because of the small size of the hydrogen atom. The electrons are pulled more towards hydrogen compared to chlorine. So you can say hydrogen is more electronegative compared to chlorine. So electronegativity is nothing but tendency of the bonded atom to attract the shared pair of electrons towards itself. That is called electronegativity. Electronegativity values can be calculated by Millikan. A scientist called Millikan gave a formula for electronegativity. Electronegativity is equal to ionization energy plus electron affinity by 2. This is what Millikan gave. Using this formula, he calculated the electronegativity value for hydrogen, that is, he gave it as 2.0. Based on this value, he even calculated the electronegativity values of some other elements. So that is about electronegativity. Next, you how the electronegativity value increases, or down the group electronegativity value decreases. Across the period, electronegativity value increases because of the smaller in size of the small size of the atoms. The electronegativity value increases across the period. Next, you have about metallic and non-metallic nature. What is this metallic and non-metallic nature? Metallic nature means metals, they are ready to, they will be ready to lose an electron, whereas non-metals, they will be ready to take electrons. So metals are electropositive in nature, whereas non-metals are electronegative in nature. So if you take group, the electropositivity increases down the group, whereas electropositivity decreases across the period. Electronegativity also electropositivity increases down the group, it decreases across a period. Electronegativity decreases down the group, whereas it increases across the period. That is about electropositivity and electronegativity. Electropositivity means tendency to lose the electrons. Electronegativity is tendency to attract the electrons. So this tendency varies between periods and groups, as I have told you. Now, what is electron affinity? I told you it is the energy that is liberated when you remove an electron, when you add an electron, the energy that is released, that is called electron affinity. Then you have second electron affinity also. If you are adding electron to the uni-negative ion, that is second electron negativity, electron affinity. No energy is liberated when second electron is added. So that's about today's class, children. We shall continue in the next class. With this we complete the chapter Classification of Elements, Periodic Table.